I'm walking over there, I'm like, I'm nodding my head like I'm about to do it because I talked about like potentially doing it, and
Yeah.
he's looking at me, just like going like that. I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it anyway.
What
Yeah.
were you saying?
I don't know. I just walked into a conversation where they were just kind of like, I don't believe that you are from England. Like you're lying. I'm like, no, we are, mate. We are.
But
My
what
God.
part would you like? Did you say you're like from London, Manchester,
I said I was from
Merseyside?
actually Wales. I said I was from Cardiff.
Wow. Gareth
You got,
Bale.
you have to pick you have to pick an obscure city that they wouldn't
Mm,
like know off rip, and then it's like, all right, there's some credibility here.
Pick
yeah.
a random. Have you seen that Ari Spears? He's like, just pick a random. I'm from McDonald Street, England. He's like, it doesn't matter. You just say it with an English accent. They believe it. And then you went, and then you bailed to Covington. Did that?
Well, you were leaving to get food.
No. Yeah, I was going to.
Yeah, so
At
I was
some
like,
point.
And I think with that being said, we can actually switch gears here. Now, Mucky, you set the tone for us. And I have to bring this call back for Benny, Smitty, and myself. Now, he said, or Mucky said, he's a top 100,000 player in the country. Where do we stand? I have my answer, but Benny, Smitty, I'll let you go first.
I go top 200,000 for you. I don't know.
You just
I think
wrecked Mucky? I was just asking you, gang.
Oh, I thought we were asking if
No.
we agreed with Logan.
No, I was just asking you if you're a top 100,
Oh,
100K
okay.
player in the country. That's
Logan,
all.
screw yourself. I'm
right.
going top 500,000 for me.
Sunday League's that bad, huh?
I mean, if you put me on the pitch right now with like anybody that was fit, they'd be better than me. 100%. If it was like crossbar challenge, I'm going top 50,000. If we're playing a game of horseshoes,
Just an
I'm
absurd
top
answer.
25,000.
Just an absolute absurd answer.
Wait.
Look at this guy.
Wait.
Is this real?
Whoa.
Whoa, dude. Is this guy real? Is this guy alive?
No.
Marcus, get over here, dude. You need to see something.
Hello, gentlemen. We need the Stone Cold Steve Austin glass shatter music.
Too many men on the pitch.
Whoa. Lando, how you doing?
Doing great.
He's offsides.
Unfortunate.
Well, last episode, Mucky said he's a top 100,000 player in the country currently. We're just asking ourselves now, where do you rank? Like, do you think you're a top 100,000 player in the country? Like, what are your thoughts here?
I was listening to his perspective on things, and I think at right now where I am at, I'm a little bit out of the retirement zone. I do play Sunday League like once in a blue moon. I did score the game-winning goal in the championship final, so I do I do put myself up above Jacob's performance. Obviously was always ahead of him, but still, I think I could beat a 1v1 any day of the week.
Always is crazy.
I would put myself around generously top 300,000.
Okay. That's a fair number. You got to keep in mind that he's in the elder division, so
yeah, the hamstrings don't work. I can't run like I used to. I mean, it's just park the bus, kind of, move side to side, and take the opportunities when they come. So, for that reason, I'm not doing any 5-star skills. I'm just a basic man. I always was. Never had the touch of a midfielder. I mean,
basic. So run down up the flank, get coached by Jacob every once in a while at practice, and go from there.
Maybe if
what was I going to say here? I was going to say I think if it wasn't for my crippling anxiety, I'd have a little bit better fitness on the field. But these days I'm on the field and I'm running, and I make a quick cut, and I feel my knee. I feel it, and I'm like, I'm I'm not going to tear my knee in half after 18 years of playing soccer. I'm not going to tear it in half on a Monday night with a bunch of guys at 9:30 p.m. It's not happening. So
I hear it. I understand it. I just feel like you guys are being too, what's the word? Pessimistic, whatever that word is. I think if push came to shove, we needed one game, whatever it is. I'm putting myself top 100,000. I'm getting it done.
See,
See,
I don't
I'm
think I
with
was
Mucky.
top 100.
I'm with Mucky.
I don't think I was top 100,000 when I was in my prime.
Well, that's
It's a little different.
I think I just got there purely off vibes.
I disagree. But
yeah. Well, 100,000 people is a lot of people. There's not
That's what
that
I'm
many.
saying. Like you're trying to tell me
soccer players.
200,000+ people are better than you guys
Yeah.
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 in the country?
I precisely have put myself no better than the 3,843,269th best soccer player in America right now.
Mm.
I am no better than that.
Well, keeper's tough because, if you put LeBron James in net, that's pretty good keeping.
I don't want to spend too much time on it, but hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Remotely Related. I'm one of your hosts, Kenny, and before I introduce the rest of the panel that you're hearing right now, we do appreciate likes, comments, and subscribes on the YouTube. We got a couple from last episode. I don't know what happened, but shout them out. Shout out whoever you are. And then, any stars, hearts, reviews for Apple and Spotify goes a long way. But before we dive into the Prem, anything else going on, boys? Benny, Mucky, Smitty, Lando?
And potentially
Yeah.
Mucky. I mean, this guy's a little quiet over there. He might have a rough bender on a
I was
Friday,
with
Saturday.
Jake.
Lando
I
missed
didn't-
the first 10 minutes of the episode
Yeah.
where that was already discussed.
Was checking Mucky's
Right.
location. It looked like he was in the middle of the street for half the night. I was going to text him, see if he was okay, but
Liverpool and Manchester City, the Premier League game of the weekend, really for no reason because Manchester City are an absolute abomination at this point in time. Kenny, I know you watched wall-to-wall television 90 minutes straight. What do you think of the game?
What did I think of the game? So, I'll start with City first. These are needed.
Jeez.
These are
Man,
needed.
God.
So when I have these on, it just means I'm gonna throw some shade. I'm gonna throw some hate. Let's see here. Is everyone familiar with Bonnie Blue?
Am I?
For
I
those
know.
who don't know,
I was
We don't need
1,100.
to explain. They can Google
For-
it themselves. We
Yeah,
don't need to explain.
for this one you might have to, but for those who don't know, she is allegedly pregnant, and there are a number of people that could be the baby father. Now, why does this matter? It just made me think of Man City this season. Who's their dad? Is it Liverpool? Is it Arsenal? Is it Madrid? We don't know. We don't know. This fall from grace is amazing. And after the display today, the only person who can escape all these shenanigans, all this hate, is Jeremy Doku. Because I don't know what Pep Guardiola wrote on that board, but it just must have said, give that brother the ball. Let him run a trend for 90 minutes and actually set a record for defenders getting beat in the Premier League in a single game because he actually did that. But for City, that seemed to be the only game plan, and once it didn't work, it just wasn't working for him.
It was giving me real flashbacks to Lando at VCU.
Oh,
yeah. That did remind me of that because he didn't win. Trent did not win one challenge. And
yeah.
Thing. Doku does this every game against Trent. Unfortunately for him, I don't think he has gotten a goal or assist from running past this man at least 40 times in the past 2 seasons. So whatever he is doing, it's incredible. He's beating his man. But it's like, at some point, you have to have some type of end product. Because
I agree.
now they didn't have Holland. Marmouche again looked promising, looked like he actually tried and wanted to win. Let's go to the man that we cannot allow to escape criticism once again, Philip Foden. Philip Foden. The biggest or the worst thing I can say about Phil Foden is I'm not surprised. My expectations at this point are so low from what he's going to produce in tough games and big games that it doesn't even bother me that he plays terrible. He goes. It doesn't bother me at all. And it's just a constant thing for him right now. Last year he was incredible, right? And it seems like every year he's been in the City team, it was all just like adding up. And last year was finally the coming out party. Look how good I am. This is my team now. I'm filling in. I'm taking over for KDB. And just like the rest of the team, right downhill. The difference is he has no excuse because he should be in his prime right now. The other guys, they're old. They can't move anymore. That's one thing. He cannot escape criticism ever. I'm going to end up talking about him every single week because I'm not letting him get away with it.
I'm just saying, I watched it. I don't have a lot to say on him, so that probably tells you everything you need to know. Non-existent. But to be fair, so was everybody else. I mean, Man City was just, it's just like they still were kind of nice to watch play. Like, they still move the ball around, but there's just absolutely no end product at all. And that's the thing. Like, Liverpool defensively is so systematic and so perfectly structured. And the combination of Van Dijk and Konate.
Yeah. No, I understand. I feel like with City, it was more like aesthetically pleasing to be like, oh, they're like keeping the ball against Liverpool. But we also have to realize Liverpool's kind of letting them do this. As soon as Salah just pulled his madness to whatever he had to do, Liverpool's perfectly okay with just sitting back. And I don't know if you guys really like noticed or whatever, but it really hit a certain point, and then City kind of just they gave up. Like, they're like, we're not scoring. It was right around like the 75th minute. Something didn't go the way. Heads just went down. And honestly, I haven't seen a City team do that before. I guess except for Madrid, like last week. But other than that, it was tough.
There's just nobody that's an in the box finisher in that lineup. I mean, Foden's not really, to me. He kind of is, but like, he's not an in the box finisher.
He's a wonder
KDB,
goal guy.
KDB. Guy. He's not an in the box finisher. Marmoush, he is a winger. Like, he should be having the ball at the flank. Doku was out there. Doku played an amazing game, but he's passing to nobody in the box. Like, you beat Trent on the outside, great. Who are you passing it to? You got Van Dijk. You got like the best back line. Probably one of the best back lines in the history. Like, their season right now, their performance, probably one of the best back lines of all time. From a performance standpoint.
Yeah, no,
and you got nobody in the box to finish. So, like, what do you expect?
The biggest thing with the whole Doku thing was he dribbled past Trent 11 times and City didn't score. Trent played one ball in behind the Salah and Liverpool scored on it. And that's the thing. Like, Trent will drive everyone insane defensively. And I literally texted Kenny before the game. I said, Trent's going to get dribbled past 10 times today and cover it up with an assist. He didn't get an assist, but they won the game. I think that one of the biggest things we're missing with City is we keep saying once they get new players in, once they spend a bunch of money, they're going to be back. There has to be a psychological part to this where in their head, they're going to have so much doubt. And like, they can throw this season away. They're out of the Champions League. I mean, they still have to finish 4th or 3rd.
Or 5th.
But I'm wondering if the psychological impact is going to be a strain going forward.
I understand it. I hear it. And I want to leave the floor for you guys for this. There is another fall from grace from the City team that performed today. Kevin De Bruyne. Now, it wasn't great, but I didn't feel bad, but I'm like, this is really
sad.
Like, this is just sad. Like, this is probably his last go around against Liverpool. probably for the Prem, but you could just tell all the miles in his legs caught up to him, and he's just not the player that he was.
MLS
one
is
season,
calling,
too.
dude.
You think MLS?
MLS would be perfect.
I don't know. That fall doesn't. I mean, dude, it's like one season though. You know what I mean? Where like he was kind of in and out of injury last season and then this season as well. But like, I mean,
Are you a City fan?
he was fine 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, I mean, three seasons ago. I mean, we talked last week about Raheem Sterling being one of the best wingers in the league 3 seasons ago.
Yes, we did.
No,
Yes, we did.
no, not 3.
Yes, we did.
Dude, Raheem Sterling played for a Champions League winner
No.
like 4 years ago. I get what you're saying.
Like, I feel like the drop off was just so quick.
No, it
Like,
did, but
like he can't be like that. Like, I don't know. They just
but he
need to
can't stay
sometimes
fit,
they're
though.
playing.
He's always hurt, so
Circumstances.
he can't, like,
Well,
he's not going to find form. He can't stay fit.
Here's my question.
And
fell
the thing-
off,
and the thing with City, like, Bernardo Silva didn't touch the field today. Jack Grealish didn't touch the field today. Like, Bernardo Silva, they were playing a low block for 45 minutes, and he didn't come on because Pep probably doesn't trust him anymore. Like, that was actually a game Bernardo probably could have came on at halftime because the running didn't really matter. They had 70% of the ball in the second half, probably.
He brought on Kovacic, Gundogan, and Ruben Diaz, and he left Bernardo and Grealish.
I can see.
The pass that Ruben Diaz smacked off Kovacic's back.
That reminds me of you,
That's what I'm
Jacob.
saying.
That's the first thing
There
I
it is.
thought of, bro.
But
Fair enough.
Here's the thing, Benny. Question for you before we switch over to Liverpool, real quick.
Yeah, what do you want?
So if you're saying this De Bruyne thing is like one season, do you want him to stay at City?
I mean, here all I'm saying is, okay, you can't say fit, but that doesn't mean like your technical ability. Like I still don't think he's like from where he was to where he is now. I think it's more of a mental thing and there's just the situation they're in. Just because he could still like you should still be able to play those amazing balls you've been playing. Like if you're on the field, like you should be. Like you still have that technique. Like that doesn't have anything to do with fitness at all. Like I just think that's gone. Now I know he didn't have Haaland to pass to up top, but you know every game he's played this season, it's just been like, this guy, you know, where has he been? What's going on? You know, Winger, you're talking about Raheem Sterling. I get that. You know, he's all pace down the flank. That's his game. But KDB, he's good. He's a passer. You still have that. You don't need to be. You don't. That just doesn't drop off.
I get what your mindset.
That just doesn't disappear.
I get what you're thinking, and I think you feel like if Rodri comes back into the team, Rodri will eat up so much ground it won't matter that KDB can't move anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like
because
if he gets
can't
the
move
ball
anymore. Let's be honest.
Like if he can still get the ball in like good positions, like he should still be able to play those amazing balls we're used to him playing.
But the problem is now they don't have any runners in there and they can't carry him basically. When they have runners, they can carry somebody that doesn't move.
I mean, they've got the dude Gonzalez. He's new. He's young. He should be able to run.
We saw him today. Nope.
Dude, he did not look
I
great.
just don't like.
Why did Pep
he can't
call him
run?
the mini Rodri? What was that about?
That's what I'm saying. Like if I saw that and I was like, I was so looking forward to seeing him play today, and I just.
Lando, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, actually, I was watching KDB, him take that shot right before halftime. You kind of saw in his face, in your face. Also, another thing that reminded me of you, Jacob. But
Thank you. As we know, I wasn't the greatest.
You kind of just saw the disappointment, which kind of makes me think maybe his injuries is kind of catching up to him a little bit. You know, once you have those serious, hamstring issues and all that kind of stuff, you kind of. It's a mental. The second part of it is obviously you recover physically, but mentally you pull up a little bit. You know, you're a little bit more cautious of opening up the stride. Maybe putting a little bit less pace on the ball. So that's what just from watching him today. Obviously, he didn't look great. I mean, he can still do some Kevin De Bruyne things, but I mean, there wasn't really that extra
Can he?
from him. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Well,
wondering. Obviously,
look,
he's getting older. He's obviously getting older, but
his contract's
Oh,
up in the summer, so they're either going to have to re-sign him or they lose him for free. If I was them, I would just let him go enjoy life and not make him beat himself up anymore. But
I think
that's
he's
just me
gone. Yeah,
personally.
All right.
I think he's gone.
No, that's a good place to leave the city commentary for the game. Any viewers out there, let us know what you think about what De Bruyne should do for his next step. Smitty, Liverpool did get the win. Anything you want to call out? Anything on your minds? Big win, obviously.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of expected it, to be honest with you. You always have the worry about playing City, but even in the form they're in, you just knew once you scored one, they were going to crumble. Call-outs, who do I want to give praise to? Obviously, Salah's having an all-time Premier League season, and I think once we get to the end of this, we can assess where this ranks in all-time seasons for an individual player. I thought Szoboszlai was unbelievable again.
That's the one I was going to call out.
And he's so important. And I know I've hated before saying that you can't play the 10 and not get goals and assists. But just the running, the power, the beautifulness, the look. I think
We
guys
did mention that.
I think guys look at his face and his hair and go, you know what? Just take the ball off me. Just come run close to me, touch me, and get the ball off me, and take it the other way.
It's me.
And I think that helps him out a lot. But
yeah, no, that's
just unreal again today.
Yeah, I think those are the two specifically. I feel like with Liverpool, it was more of just a professional performance. Like we're gonna let Salah do his thing.
That corner play was also beauty. It was lovely.
They took that from Bournemouth, but it was good. It was good.
Well, don't have to reinvent the wheel here.
Exactly. No, I agree. Great set piece play. But those two specifically, I think, got Liverpool over the line because otherwise it was just a defensive, stout performance, just getting it done. But
good.
Just showcasing
beautiful.
into the teams in the league that you don't need a striker to win games,
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, that's interesting.
It is an interesting dynamic.
Both teams didn't have nines.
Not to throw shade, but it is an interesting dynamic that Slot has gone this route to not playing a 9. Now, I don't know if it is because what Nunez and Jota did on Wednesday versus Villa, which was an absolute travesty and a disgrace, because if either one of them finished chances, they'd be 14 points clear right now instead of 11. If it was 14, I could really, really rest on my laurels and just probably not show up till the trophy ceremony and take a couple weeks off the pod. But
it's
for
over.
now, I'm going to have to keep showing up because it's
Are
not
you serious.
It's
You
not
don't think it's over?
100% over. It is 99.999% over. One more loss from Arsenal and it will be over.
It could be over this week.
I think that tie was the nail in the coffin. I think that was just like, we can't, whatever. But I think it's over.
Fair enough. I feel like we're about to get there very soon. Any other final thoughts on Liverpool before we go to the next game? Cool.
Oh,
Congrats, Liverpool, on the win. First win in a decade. You got it done. But yeah, let's move on.
Oh, what do we got here? Oh, Jacob, your squad. Forest.
Best game on the weekend. Might be game of the season. Can't even lie.
Just take it away, Jacob.
12 minutes. I mean, just absolute. I don't know if they all blacked out for 12 minutes or what happened. I haven't seen a performance of 12 minutes that diabolical in a long time. But, you take that out, what do you have? A win?
That's fair.
This is a very great take, Jacob. Keep going.
You take that 12 minutes, you plop that 12 minutes out, and you just cut it out of time. You got the Infinity Stones, you're Thanos, and you just snap and you just erase that from existence.
Yeah,
So,
just
you know,
get rid of
I'm
3
proud.
goals in 12 minutes, and they win the
proud of
game.
the
I feel like I
boys.
could do that
I'm
for
proud
any
of the
part of my
boys.
life.
Yeah.
Dude, how good is Alexander Isak, dude?
He's good.
He's a complete striker. Like he's just so complete. Everything he does, whether it's like the hold up play, the runs in behind, even like when luck's on your side, the finishes you have, if they're gonna be deflected in, that works too. But if you're doing everything right, these results are gonna happen. And I'm comfortable saying he's the best striker in the Prem. Do we want to go across Europe? We can argue that, debate that, but I'm perfectly okay with saying that.
He was top 10 quickest players to 50 league goals. Now, Newcastle, you better finish top 4, because if not, that man is saying adios, and I do not blame him.
I agree.
Well, I agree. I want to give Anderson a shout out. I love that guy for Nottingham. I'm a little worried for the boys. I think this has been a little bit of a slide dip
Was
in
this
performance.
three no wins in 3? Something like that?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm a little worried for them. I'm looking at the table. You know, I'm hoping they can remain top 4, but I'm not loving the chances just with their recent dip in form. I mean, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Aston Villa.
I think fifth. They got to hold on for 5th. Right now,
they
they
can
gotta
hold on.
they
I think
gotta-
they can hold on for 4. I just am not that optimistic. I think it's possible, but
I mean, let's be honest. If they finish in the top 8, it's a successful season. Like,
no, not anymore. If they finish anything below 5, obviously it's a success from the beginning of the season, but as of now, that's disappointing. If they finish anything below 5, that's fans are disappointed.
I
get what you're
understand.
saying.
I
Yeah.
understand. I feel like for disappointment though, we can go back to the game here. The commentator was saying a stat where whenever Nottingham scores first, it's been like 20 games where they haven't gotten 3 points. I don't know. I guess I missed this theme of the season for them, or last season as well. But as soon as you score, because honestly, I don't know if you guys saw the goal. The goal came out of absolutely nothing.
I mean,
Newcastle had them in a chokehold, and Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't even more Callum Hudson-Odoi. Smitty, you're the keeper here. Did you see where Nick Pope was standing?
Yeah,
This
but
was crazy.
Nick Pope needs replaced. Like, it's been obvious for a year now. He was supposed to be really good. He had like one good season, and now he's back to being the average goalkeeper that Nick Pope was. Both teams only had 5 shots on target, but I mean, XG 2.9 for Newcastle, 1.7 for Forest. I mean, Forest, we know they don't create a ton of chances. If Forest give up
that's
4
their
goals,
whole-
they're never going to win. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
You
that's
would
their whole
never
thing.
expect them to win that game.
A lot of their goals come from absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I hear it, but it's also some luck wasn't on their side. I know their first goal shouldn't have really even happened because Ola Aina didn't trip Anthony Gordon, which led to the free kick for Newcastle's first goal in the 12-minute 3-goal thing. But it's just interesting for me because, like, table aside, where they should finish, whatever it is, that was one of the best Premier League games that I've ever seen. I'm trying to tell you guys, the fact that it was 4-1 at half, and then Nottingham's making this comeback, it didn't matter about the shots on target. When you're watching the game, they're kicking each other when they're on the ground. They're fighting for all these 50-50s. It was great Barclays footy, and I'm just so glad I saw it. Like, it was one of the best games I've seen in so long.
I mean, there's one thing you can count on if you're watching the boys over at Nottingham play. Good Barclays football. Just,
That was proper.
it's proper, dude. Anderson, that guy in the midfield. I mean, nothing special about him other than his absolute ability to grit out running and tackling and covering ground. That's what City needs right there. That guy. Oh, he's awesome.
With Forest, you know what you're going to get, and Newcastle are just a bunch of pit bulls. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
that's what you got to expect.
Milinkovic and Dan Burn were challenging for headers. This is the 6-5 battle we need for the Prem. Like, this is
Milinkovic's
fantastic.
goal? Also,
The flick?
class.
Yeah.
Little flick.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out. Yeah, Tex, dude. I mean, our 6'5" center backs, we got Tex. All right.
Right. Yeah. R
Yeah.
6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah.
6'5" for the people.
Yeah.
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 But it's fine. It's
I mean,
fine.
I'm not either, but
Yeah, in spirit. But yeah, no, Nottingham Forest, big game coming up this week.
yeah, they got to find it. I
yeah.
think the last thing I'll leave with this is if you want to be a good team, there's got to be some leadership on that. That 3 goals in 12 minutes, or was it?
Yeah, it was
3
something
goals.
like that.
That's just, that just can't happen. I mean, that's just you're just,
Mental lapse.
yeah, mental lapse. Like, that can't happen. There's got to be somebody on that team that's just like, I'm thinking like a Roy Keane or something that just like starts tackling a dude or like getting the guys together. He makes a crazy tackle just to get everybody back in line. Like, you cannot have 3 goals scoring you in 12 minutes. Like, that just can't happen. And that's just a mental lapse. That's all it was. That's all it was. So, I mean, if you want to stay top 4, that can't happen.
Handle your business.
Handle your business. Let's keep it pushing. If I was to tell you that Chelsea have 6 points in their last 7 Premier League games, but Kenny, I know we're saying this is horrendous. This is bad. They're still only 1 point off City for 4th in the league.
That's why I'm so mad at this table, man. Like, why is everyone beating each other? Like, it makes no sense. If we're going to talk about Nottingham and Newcastle just quickly here, it was like Newcastle had 4 dropped on them by City, but then they dropped 4 on Nottingham right after. Like, everyone just keeps dropping goals, and it makes no sense. But, yeah, with Chelsea here, Smitty,
same thing with Nottingham.
Yeah, I feel like we did our big one last episode, so I don't even know if there's much to say. They did switch up some things. I don't know if you guys noticed in the starting 11, Reece James was playing center mid, and Nkunku was moved to the left. Pedro Neto played the 9. And if there is one thing I'll take away from this, Pedro Neto was actually class, and the fact that he tried to step up and try to be a leader for this team. I also want to give a call out for Enzo Fernandez too. He's the only one that's showing passion to try to get these results. But other than that, it's looking sad over there, and it's not. You're Chelsea. You're Chelsea. This is a historic club. You need to demand more from the players, from the manager, from everyone. It's good.
They have 5 goalkeepers on their roster, and all of them are shit.
As soon as they score
Petrovic
that howler,
bring him back.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I have a theory on those keepers, though. Maybe it's like, you said what, 5? Like, there's 5 of them? Because Kepa, Petrovic, Jorgensen, all of them. What if their goalie gloves are just too big? Like, think about it.
That's a good question.
Every single time they get scored on, like, bad, it just goes through their hands. They got, like, they either have baby hands or oversized gloves. I don't know what else it can be, but this is the only thing. I don't know what you guys think.
What happened to Mendy? He was brilliant for like 2 years there for Chelsea. What happened to him?
He's in Saudi collecting the bag.
Yeah, but that was I don't remember if he just fell off the face of the earth or if he was still good and they just let him leave.
He was bad.
But they need to figure it out. I mean, you can't spend that much money and have goalkeepers that aren't worth more than $7 million because they're not. They're not. I know an MLS goalkeeper that we played against that could probably go start for Chelsea and be their best goalkeeper, which is an absolute insane thing to say. I understand. But he probably would be better than what they got. Jacob, Chelsea, what do you think? Terrible, good? Any chance at top 4, or are they just...
I think
6th.
I think this is just what they were preparing for. I mean, I think they kind of got off to a really hot start for the year. But that's what Maresca, he was saying. Like, he was preparing for this. I think that's the number one thing. I think this is what it looks... I think this is what Amron's doing. but he's not doing it as well as Maresca was doing.
Leave him alone.
Like,
Let's stick
okay.
to it.
I mean,
I don't even want to talk about him again.
This is what I was expecting. This is what I was expecting from Chelsea. Like, Cole Palmer can only be a one-man show for so long. I think what you've probably now seen is every other team in the league is just probably watched enough film on what they're doing to be like, okay, we do this, we do that. Like, we'll be good with Chelsea. So there's not like nothing special with them. I think they're, they could pull out some magic from the hat and have a good game. I think they'll be, definitely top 6. I don't think they'll be top 4.
Before we move to the Arsenal game, I have a hot take that I want to get on the record about Cole Palmer.
What?
I believe that within 3 years, he will not be at Chelsea anymore.
I don't even know if that's a hot take. I don't think that's a hot take. I feel like if the board doesn't tighten up and figure out who needs to come into that team, then he's gone. Leadership is a big thing for Chelsea that they don't have. So maybe it is investing in a couple older players. Maybe it is trying to, get a balance of the squad so everyone kind of knows their role, knows what to do. They can learn from others. But yeah, that take, I could easily see Cole Palmer leaving.
We're going to talk about leadership. I just want to really quickly say, January transfer window is a tough window, but you just know the owners over at Aston Villa are just sitting there in their booths.
I'm glad you mentioned it.
They're just sitting there in their booths saying, yeah, we know what we're doing, boys. I mean, 2 goals and 2 assists from their main transfers. It's class.
Well,
it's class.
Here's the thing.
Do you know if they have an option to buy Asensio or no? Or is it just straight?
I have no clue. I have no clue. But this is what I wanted to say because, Benny, that's a great point. Them, like Asensio and Rashford at Aston Villa in 2025 is literally insanity.
That's
like,
crazy.
I don't know if we all played like FIFA career mode and like FIFA 17 or whatever back in the day. Asensio was a wonder kid. Rashford was a wonder kid. And right now what they're doing, it feels like we just started a team in career mode and we're just trying to get all the wonder kids on that team, starting with like Smitty, what we do, like a Stoke City back in the day or like a Sunderland. And we're just trying to get them off loan. And the fact they're doing this,
it's like they're playing FIFA 17 and they just fast forward 9 years.
This is what I'm saying. But they shouldn't be at Aston Villa doing this. Like, Aston Villa,
you gotta realize,
low.
like Marcus Rashford's like an 81 overall in FIFA right now, I think. So, I mean, there's a reason why he's at Aston Villa. And it is because he is too good for Manchester United. But they were brilliant. Like, I thought Villa were good in this game. I thought Villa were good in the weekday game versus Liverpool. They're maybe finding form a little bit. The problem is they're going to play Champions League in a couple weeks, and then who knows what's going to happen because they've done this so many times.
I understand that first half was a bit shambolic from them. I don't want to say they just played well because they got the win, but if you're Aston Villa, you're happy because what are you, 2-3 points from top 4 still? You're still in Champions League. Things are going good. You got Rashford there. You got Asensio. Team chem seems great. But, yeah, good win. I have nothing else with Villa and Chelsea. Chelsea do better. Villa, congrats.
Let's go, Rashford.
Mucky, this is why we brought you in.
Hey, man.
The Arsenal correspondent, you alongside Lando. What are you going to do? Honestly, I mean, what is there to say? I don't have anything, so I hope you can fill it in for me.
Pause.
There isn't much to say. Like I said last week, if we're going to win matches, it's going to be exactly like we did last week. This week, we weren't able to get the chances needed to score. And, I mean, if you don't take advantage of your opportunities in a match, the other team is going to. You can't win if you're not going to score. It's just, I mean, but one thing, why are we going short on set pieces when we don't, like, all we do is score off set pieces and we're going short in the 80th minute?
Not only did he go short, he played it short to Saliba.
And then we go all the way back to the keeper. Like, yeah, well done. Good idea. No, I mean
once it was 1-0, it was game over, right? Like, you have no confidence that they're going to score twice.
Oh yeah, no, it was. We were never. I was hoping for a draw. Maybe we had some corners late, but it's just.
I say that Kudus was just taking those boys for a hot dog. I mean, this guy was just like he was playing U11s, just running around. Man, it's quick too. Damn.
He does that about once every 8 performances, I think.
He threw Gabrielle like he was a sack of potatoes, which is insane.
Well, hot potato.
When did you ever
I was
seen
impressed
Gabrielle
with him.
get bodied?
I was impressed with him, and another red card for Skelly, was it?
Yep.
Twice in a month?
Yep.
These
Yep.
18-year-olds, man, 2 red cards in a month? He's got to stay in school. Look what's happening to these hooligans, man.
Dude, what are your thoughts on that, Kenny? Kenny,
2
I
red
see.
cards?
Tough. I mean,
Hey.
granted, the first one was a little.
Hey, what are they teaching you out here in the academy, Lando? What are they teaching you over there? Teaching these kids to make red card challenges twice a month? What's going on?
First one, let's put it on the record, should not have been a red card.
Hey,
Michael Oliver
2 red
really,
cards is 2 red
he's
cards.
really messed that one up. But
you know.
I saw the clip of that one, and that one for sure is a red card. He literally
I could argue
side
against
tackled, sandwiched him.
Benny, you have
it.
a
was that. I don't know.
This is the guy who also argued last week.
Okay. Well, look. Okay.
I just square up with someone who's
to say. I mean, the tackle was at half field, was it not?
Yes.
You are correct. You are correct.
To say that there's nobody on that field that could get back.
Did you see? Who was getting him back, yo?
I don't know. Someone.
I can tell you that David Raya was not getting back because he was 49 yards outside of his goal.
Smitty, I don't know. We got to give Benny credit. We saw David Raya pace James Ward-Prowse at the end.
That was an elite run. If there's any positives out of that.
The highlight of Arsenal's second half of the season is going to be David Raya pacing James Ward-Prowse.
If there was any positive from that game, it's that we can send him up a little bit more.
Well, you might have to because I'm not sure where any chances are going to be created from with Arsenal. I personally don't think Calafiori should have started. I don't think Marino should have started, even though he had his brace against Leicester, because Marino's more of like an impact player in that situation. Just bring him for 15, 20 minutes, see what he can do. It's just
Probably
it's
would have
not
played
looking good
Jorginho.
For the possession.
Yeah.
But I don't even think Thomas Partey was that bad. Like, I don't think that was the issue.
I think I would have just played Jorginho instead of Marino and just played with 2 attackers and just said, F it, who cares?
This will be an interesting question.
Like,
this will be an interesting question for the boys. If we take the last 10, I don't know, last 10 tables of the Prem, last 10 years at this time, is this the worst team that would be in second place, second in the table?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I mean, up until everyone got hurt, they weren't that bad. Like, and they're still not that bad. They're still competing. Yeah. Like they didn't. Like, they're still.
I feel like we never say anything good about them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every time we come on this,
Benny, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
Let me go, please.
Okay.
Please. The problem with saying anything good about Arsenal is because you have to have the expectation in your back of your head. And the expectation for Arsenal was that they're going to compete for a league. And the expectation was that if Pep wasn't going to be there, that they were going to win the league. So we have to take those things into consideration. Now, they're not going to win the league. And I've said a couple weeks ago, it's going to end up being 15 points. I still believe it's going to be 15 points. But we got to hold them accountable too, because this is year 6 or 5, whatever it is, of Mikel. you got to figure it out eventually. And I know he didn't get any help in January. They should have bought a striker. How they didn't buy a striker is criminal. But they didn't help him out.
Yeah.
So you got to make it work.
I agree. I think it's well said. I will, to Arsenal's credit, it was the fact that with the squad he has now, the injuries he has, they're still in second place, and it is something that we can give plaudits to. But like somebody said, this is year 3 of a supposed title charge. You can't have Mikel Merino be a backup 9 for an actual title charge. I'm not going to put blame on that for Arteta, but I think it has to go to the board for not being proactive, for not actually showing ambition, and for not trying to actually get what you think is yours or what Arsenal fans think is theirs. So it's the benefit is that the team is holding it down without Saka. I won't say today they held it down, obviously, but it's tough to say good things about Arsenal because the expectation they set was so high.
Not only was the expectation so high, it's tough to say good things because even at the beginning of the season when they were healthy and they were winning, they were playing some of the most depressing football that we have seen. And we talked about it for weeks at the beginning of the year saying, this is god-awful. So how they're here, good for them. They figured out a way. They have a world-class defense. They do not have any great attackers other than Bukayo Saka. I'm past the point of even throwing Odegaard into the great conversation.
I know.
Because he
I don't know,
was as bad as Phil Foden was.
I agree. Lando, Mucky, want to pass this one to you. But the footy that Arsenal play, I don't know how much it matters if they did end up with the title. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but if you did get a title, would you care how you got it? Or is it just you want to play the Arsenal way? We need to play the Arsenal to get a title. Or the
Arsenal ever won a title?
I don't think they were going to.
To me,
though.
it would be a lack of the other team's performance. That's how I would feel. I'd be like, if Arsenal ever won a title like this, it would be because the other teams must have just, I don't know, taken the crap that year.
If Liverpool didn't hit the ground running with Slot, Arsenal would win the Prem this year.
Maybe. We'll see.
To answer,
I'm just
they're going to end this year?
No,
I mean, I'm not even convinced.
I was going to answer the question, and Jacob just opens his mouth, and you don't have to sit there for the next 5 minutes.
How about you?
Jacob, great
take
point. Great point. Go ahead, Lando.
I think at the end of the day, I mean, everyone knows the saying, a win is a win. I mean, as ugly as it may be, I mean, the most important thing is winning. It doesn't matter how it happens. Yes, would it be a little bit more satisfying if we were playing a little better football? Yes. But at the end of the day, you need results. And to circle back on what Jacob said, is this the worst second-place team? I mean, you have to look back, even without Saka, I mean, our streak of 15 straight games without a loss came to an end. So I know, I mean, they haven't played great football, but they've been getting the results, even with, the injuries and having Havertz as the worst number 9 in the league. So that's positive. But that's just my 2 cents on it. Mucky, if you got anything else to back me up, but
yeah. I think at this point for Arsenal, the results all that matters. Getting the title. I don't think anyone cares how we do it. I don't think that the current state of the way they're playing is the way to do it. But ultimately, if they were to win the title this year, if Liverpool wasn't having a great season, we wouldn't mind. Because, like you said, we're 3-4 years into this now, and second place is second place.
Do you envision Arsenal winning a title in the next 2 or 3 years?
Yes.
Well, how much longer are they giving Mikel?
So I give him
just the next 2 or 3 years.
I give him 2 years.
2 years.
I don't think he's even got 2.
If you get him a striker in the summer window, it needs to be at least first or second again next year. You have to win it next year. You have to come second. If you're,
I don't even think he gets that great.
I don't know.
I think it's
3 years in a row at second place.
If you get a striker next year and he doesn't win it, it might be might be time to go.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Yeah,
Because if he gets the striker, what's the excuse going to be if he gets a striker and he doesn't win it?
just the Josh Allen of the English Premier League.
Well, you think about
I did
it.
see that tweet.
Did you?
I
I
did.
just made that up on my own accord.
You
So.
think about it.
I didn't see
Saka's
that.
23 years old, maybe going on 24. So he's got a few more years left of his prime. What is it normally, like 26, 27 is prime for soccer, and then you pretty much decline after that.
Which
so
is crazy.
I mean, if you think about it, Saka in his prime got 2-ish more years. It's probably the best chance that we kind of have as of right now, unless we get a major signing. But so you kind of want to. I mean, the defense is already solid as has been mentioned, but it's that attacking presence. So I think you gotta, if you're going into the off season, you gotta definitely reevaluate what assets you have left with how many years they got left and go for it.
Are we
And
satisfied with Declan Rice as your 6?
He doesn't play the 6.
He
In
should
the
though.
midfield.
I think he should, but Declan Rice, there's no slander from Declan Rice to me, or like that I'm giving him. But
Yeah, I don't really have either, but I just feel like he hasn't been as, apparent this season. So I didn't know if that was something you guys were worried about, if you guys were still happy with him, or what's kind of the Arsenal
There's a
thoughts
few
on him?
episodes way back. Nick talked about how prices of transfers, are, you talk about, oh, he's not worth 80 million, but I believe Nick said or the point where you don't even question why they paid that much money for him, because he's doing his job. That's what they brought him in for. He didn't come in
I did say that.
to win, to score goals, and all that. He came to control the midfield, and as of right now, he's doing his job.
I agree.
That's part of my point, though. At what point do they go, we gave you Declan Rice, we gave you Saliba, we gave you Gabriel, we gave you David Raya, you still haven't won me anything? At what point are they just going to be like, Mikel, Daddy's going to cut the card in half here and we're not giving you anyone else? Like, eventually you got to figure it out.
I agree. I think
like we got in this process of like the Pep model where you just keep buying players until it works. Like, at some point the manager has to make you better, and he has. I'll give him his credit. They have an injury crisis that rivals probably the worst in Premier League history. Maybe, I don't know. It's really bad, but at some point, someone's going to have to start to cash them checks.
Yeah, I think you gave him one more year.
Yeah, if I'm sitting there and I'm saying you gave me Raya, you gave me Saliba, you gave me Declan Rice, that's great, but that's all defensive midfield players. I mean, you can pool. I mean,
that's Mikel's fault too.
Well, yeah, all I'm saying is, I think Nottingham's a perfect example of this. You can pull together those positions kind of out of nowhere and have very good foundation. You need the attacking midfielder, you need the striker, you need the winger to get it home. I mean, you do. So I feel like they haven't given him that yet.
Well, I'd argue that spending over $100 million on anything other than a center back or a striker is a waste of money.
Spending it on an average was not a great decision, but
a good striker.
Yeah, but again though, like, he is who Arteta wanted. That's who he wanted.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think to Smitty's point, we're seeing it with Liverpool this season. They got a new manager, same crop of players, and now you're seeing the results. Maybe it's time to freshen up some things. Maybe it's time to see what another manager could potentially do. But I feel like it would be a discredit to not even mention how well West Ham played during this game. They were in the low block. They did just cause annoyance for Arsenal. And a special shout out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, to Oliver Scarles, the wingbacks doing exactly what they need to do. Nwaneri has been in the form of his life, and I don't watch West Ham that much, but I can probably predict that Oliver Scarles doesn't play that much for West Ham. Was he 19? So The fact that they were able to put that job in, the fact that Jared Bowen put in a proper captain's performance, like with the defensive block on the set piece and then the diving header on the other side of things, it was really good. And they did wear all black. It seemed like it was on purpose when they were going to the Emirates for this London derby. I don't know if they were just preparing for Arsenal's funeral and title charge this weekend, but yeah.
I mean, you just got every team they play against the rest of the year should just sit in and play a little.
They set the blueprint. They set the blueprint
because they won't score. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate.
They did that in a London derby, and they also did that in front of Thames and Ira Star. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these Afrobeats artists, but my oh my, you can't beat Arsenal and lose in front of them. You can't do that. Losing in front of the girls like that, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. But that's all I got.
Drake. Shout out Drake for all the dogs. Everton, a team full of dogs. You look at this Manchester United result. Did anyone see the penalty at the end of the game that they didn't give?
Yes.
Please tell me someone saw this.
Saw a quick
I
clip.
did not see it.
Oh
I
my
did.
God!
What
is the what? Are they just giving Manchester United points? Is that what they're doing in this situation?
You think that was a pen?
Yes.
You genuinely think that was a pen?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Oh no,
Yes.
no. Yes. I thought we were gonna be on the same page here.
No,
Are you
this is a
kidding
pen.
me?
This is,
Ashley Young
this
is
this is a clear cut pen.
I want to let you go. I want to let you go.
It was given a pen on the field. How do you overturn it? You cannot tell me. It is clear and concise that it is not
Yes,
a
it
penalty.
is.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
No,
All
it's
right.
not. As
Big
soon
pause,
as somebody
big pause,
grabs,
big pause.
as soon, look, as soon as this happens, that's not clear and concise that it's not a pen, and that's what happens.
You know what's clear and concise?
What?
The way Ashley Young threw it back to dive. Like, that
Doesn't matter.
was great.
Doesn't matter.
Did you? What?
It
That's
doesn't
all
matter.
that matters.
No, it doesn't.
Ashley Young, back in the day, because he's 40 years old, or 39, back in his first time at Aston Villa, when he was playing left wing, he was known for diving. He was known for doing these tricks. I think it's absolutely shameless that you played for Manchester United for 9 years and you try to pull some scammy dive. Did you see how unprofessional it looked? Like, come on, Smitty. You can't tell me that.
Manchester United fans are saying it was a pen. Just saying.
I don't care
all
what
I'm saying.
Manchester United fans are saying.
It's a
I don't
pen.
care what they're saying. What? Lando, you saw it. I don't want to keep going.
No,
What do you
I
think?
saw it. I thought I don't know if anyone watched the Spurs game, but the one in the Spurs game was worse than that one.
That Danso challenge. Yeah.
It looked like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna body check you, and the
I mean, I
ball's already
see a
out of
jersey
bounds.
pull.
Of course you see your
Hey.
jersey pull.
Of
course you see your
Jacob.
See a jersey pull.
Of course.
Jacob,
Again,
Jacob, if you give it a pen on the field, how do you overturn it? The
VAR.
jersey pull
That's-
is clear as day. You can't overturn it. You can't.
Yes,
it's
that's
not
it.
clear and obvious. No, it is
Yes,
not.
yes.
It
no,
has
no,
to be
I don't know.
clear and obvious to overturn it. It's
It
not
was
clear and
so
obvious.
clear.
I agree.
No, it's not.
I agree with Nick.
It was so
If
clear.
I see a jersey, there's a jersey pull.
I agree with
You
Kenny.
pulled him back.
Muck,
Yeah, no,
Muck,
you can see. We all saw the jersey
Muck's the
pull, but
deciding
yeah,
factor.
Mucky, go
Pull
ahead.
up a clip.
Go ahead,
Pull up a clip, Muck, if you haven't seen it.
He's frozen.
Oh, it's. I don't know what's
Frozen.
going on. We're
You
down
can't
bad.
even-
We're down bad. But no, this is what
I
I'm
mean-
saying. This is what I'm saying. The tug is clear. It's as clear as the skin routine that Ashley Young uses. Because first of all, he's 40 years old. He looks like he's 20. It's absurd. But here's the thing: he pulls him, and then he falls like 3 seconds after.
But he pulls him.
Like it
He
doesn't.
pulls them.
It was a pull.
You just said he
Yes.
pulls them.
I know. I'm not speaking in a different language. I said that. It's a slight pull, but not enough for the way that he dove. You saw that dive. That's crazy. That's absolutely
Doesn't
crazy.
matter
And I
if he
can
does
see it
Everybody
in your
does
face.
that.
It
Benny.
doesn't
Everybody
matter.
I
No.
can see it in your
No.
face. That's
Everybody does
shameless.
that.
That's shameless.
How
Everybody
much
does
does
that.
Ashley Young
Doesn't
weigh?
matter. It doesn't matter.
You know,
Doesn't
you
matter.
have to like.
It
pull.
does matter.
You
Does
have
not
to.
That's
matter.
what you have to
pull.
pull. You have to really pull. Yes, it
It
does.
does not matter.
You've been
The
tossed
guy's
around a
given it
good
on the
bit,
field as a
Jacob.
pen.
You know how much you need.
If the dive was so bad, why did he give it as a pen?
Smitty, I don't understand your point here. They incorporate VAR for a reason like this.
The angle. Where was the angle?
Why?
Where was
Like,
the
what are you
referee?
saying to me?
You're
What are you
saying
saying
the
to me?
dive was so bad that he didn't get touched and he just fell. He dove into the swimming pool from a 10-foot diving board.
I didn't say that.
That is what you said. Yes, it is.
I didn't say that.
You said.
I literally said there was a pull. I said there was a pull.
Okay, then that's it. It's a pen. He got pulled.
No.
Thank you.
That's shameless. That's shameless from you. That's shameless from you as a Liverpool fan, because there's some challenges. No, there's some challenges that Konate's made that was like, oh, he kicked him, but did he really kick him? That would definitely be a pen in your situation. It's not.
No,
1,000%.
1,000%. But it wasn't, and the ref didn't give it on the field, so it doesn't matter.
If he didn't call it,
that's so bad.
If he didn't call it,
get out of here. Oh, sorry, Benny.
If he didn't call the pen, and they reviewed it and kept it on the pen, I wouldn't be mad. But it's not. If I see a jersey tug and you call it on the field, you have to give it. There's
Why are we talking circles? Why are we acting like VAR is here for this particular reason? What are we
supposed to be? It's supposed to be supplemental to the original decision. It's supposed to be like, if you call it, it has to be.
So you're saying it's supposed. You're saying it's supposed to guide them.
The wording they use all the time is that VAR is not supposed to re-ref games. That's what they say.
Are you allowed to pull a guy in the box? Right. Are you allowed to pull his jersey? No.
Right.
I don't care how hard it was.
No, you guys got it.
That's half a pin.
You guys got it. We'll let the viewers decide if they think it was a pen or not. We would have Mucky, but hopefully he comes back to us soon. But in regards to the rest of the second half, real quick, I do just want to call out and say, Bruno Fernandes, I am so sorry that you have to deal with this. I feel like if you had an Arsenal jersey on, things would be much different for your career. But the fact that you have to deal with some of these bums,
you'd have less trophies if you played for Arsenal.
Some of these absolute bums that are playing side by side with you. I am really, really sorry, because your career at United deserves so much more. Like the free kick he had, and then we can talk about Ugarte's finish, because that was another worldie. But the fact they're coming from 2-0 down off faults of none of their own is the issue. That's the entire problem.
I can't believe they came back, to be honest. As soon as it was 2-0, I was like, chalk it. I give them some props for coming back.
That's what I'm saying. It was just a proper performance of just, we need these moments from you. Who's going to step up when we're in the trenches, when we're down bad? It's Bruno Fernandes every time for United, and we need to give him his flowers now, because he is not a 14th and 15th place player. There's no way he should be doing this United right now. He deserves so much more, and United fans should treat him with so much praise. I don't know if there's anything else.
Is this the same guy that we were talking shit about because he had 2 red cards as a captain earlier in the season?
I understand, but here's the thing. Good callback. He's stepping up.
Fair enough.
This is the praise that I'm talking about. Like,
and he's got receipts.
You saw the mistake that he made, and now he's owning up to it. Are we not allowed second chances?
He's only a man. You know what I mean? How,
are we not allowed second chances?
I'm only a girl. You can only deal with so much shit. I mean, if you're that good and you're on this team, I mean, fair enough, dude. You have a couple moments where you lose your head. Like, you're not a robot. Give me another guy in the Prim right now that's that good, that's going through this like he is.
Exactly.
There's only so much,
point.
Exactly.
There's
only so much you can handle.
And
you're a true competitor.
It's also more of another positive for the second half. Casemiro didn't play 90 minutes, guys. He didn't get a full game in. Højlund didn't get a full game in, so those changes were made. But now it's time to have some fun.
And
it's time
I
to
said
have
this.
some fun.
I said this earlier, and Kenny laughed at me. The whole relegation. If they lost that game, they would have 29 points. They'd be sitting 16th with 29 points. West Ham would have 30.
Yeah, they'd still be like 10 points above relegation.
Yeah.
I hear it. But
now that I'm looking at it,
yeah,
you're right.
You're right. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
I think, however, they could end 17th. 100%. I think that's so possible.
That's on the cards.
Jacob, there was some bum on TikTok that was like, "You're 10 points above the relegation zone." if you guys are going to talk on microphones, at least know what you're talking about. I'm like, dude, that's not the point. They're 10 points above the relegation zone. You got bigger problems than them actually getting relegated.
See, you know what the problems are. Some of these are bigger problems. We have Diego Dallo, Harry Maguire, and Mateus De Ligt. I don't know if anyone decided to watch this game, but these three, it reminded me of what is it? The three headed dragon, like that meme on Twitter. Like, have you seen that picture of those three who just that performance? De Ligt was absolutely awful. I don't want to hear anyone on this pod talk about Harry Maguire with grace again. And Diego Dallo, I saw a tweet with him. It was, if you put his brain inside of a horse, it would bark. I think that explains it all. But those three deserve a special shout out because shambles.
That would explain why they're dragging guys down in the blocks in the 95th minute. That's a perfect definition of why
cool.
that would happen. Let's not talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Go
Now that Muck is back, have you had a chance to take a look at the supposed penalty?
Clear.
You are the
deciding factor.
You're the last guy. It's two. Yeah, 2-2.
He's like, say it.
Stay with your clear dive. I know about the art of diving.
Mucky knows ball. Mucky knows ball.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you guys went to the same acting school. Love it.
That's all we needed. Special shout out to that guy Beto though, for Everton.
Guy,
5 goals. 5 goals in 4 games.
Yeah, that's a lot of LeBron celebrations.
Yeah,
he's definitely in form.
I mean, maybe
he's definitely in form.
I wouldn't mind if he came over to Arsenal if he's in this form.
Oh no, you didn't say that.
Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't say it. You for real?
That's enough. That's enough of United and Everton. A player that you would take at Everton.
Hey, Beto's better than an injured Havertz.
Yeah, he's got 3 less goals than Havertz all year. Sorry.
Mucky, what would you do to take Cunha?
Unholy things I probably can't say on this podcast. Or
I see.
I don't think he fits Arteta's player profile. He's got a little too much
flair.
I'd like Isak or Victor Osimhen, ideally.
Isak.
Isak's just not
that's
good.
who I'd like.
Isak, I'd also like $1 million in my bank account, but there's just some things that aren't going to happen.
Smitty, if you want to just quickly talk about this one, I don't know if you saw any of the highlights, but there was a red card in this game, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was a red card, but VAR changed it, and they did what they had to do. They did their job. Who knows? But no, Cunha's performance, absolute baller. Like, he's due for a big move. I'm excited to see where he goes, but we'll just have to see who's willing to spend the cash. Great win for Wolves.
Yeah, no one cares about that game, just like no one cares about Brighton beating Southampton 4-0, so there's nothing to speak about there.
True, Pedro fantasy.
Yep, other than that, good for him, good for you. Crystal Palace 2, Fulham 0. Yeah, I'm not arsed, honestly. I'm not arsed at all.
Well,
why
for
should
anyone,
I be?
I don't blame you. I'm trying to tell you guys, Mateta had a goal that was offsides, but the celebration, it's my favorite celebration of the Prem, 1,000%. Just a quick little fist bump, and then the kick of the quarter flag, and everyone just yells at the same time. Oh, when you have a chance, take a look.
He'd be good at Arsenal too, huh?
He'd be better than Beto.
He'd be better than Havertz.
But another random quick shout out. Their right wing back Munoz, he's been a very good signing for them. I know they were struggling for a right back because I'm pretty sure Nathaniel Klein was over there at some point, and I don't think in 2025 or 2024 that should be your starting right back. But he's playing very well, and he's wearing some retro Mercurial Vapors from like 2013, 2014. So shout him out. But that's all I got.
The last one was Spurs 4, Ipswich 1. Good for Spurs, right? I mean, Not great for Ipswich. I mean, I was hoping that Ipswich was going to find a way to stay up. It's looking less and less likely by the week, though.
Yeah. I feel like for that game, Udogie came back. I guess he's finally fit. He played. So that was interesting for Spurs. It was 2-1 at a point, and it looked a little like nerve-wracking, like Spurs was going to fold, but Jed Spence, probably their player of the season currently, he stepped up. He got a goal that was deflected, but yeah, Ipswich is in the mud. I think it's time to just say these three that are currently in the relegation are going down. But a big win for Spurs. Big win for Spurs. James Maddison didn't start, I think. Not trying to start any narratives, but something's going on over there.
I mean, when you play Ipswich, he doesn't need to play. He can go out with the lads, have a good night, maybe get into the hotel a little late, and then just sit on the bench for 90 minutes. I think it's good.
All right. No, fair enough. Shout out to Spurs, no longer in these relegation talks with United, got the job done. But I think that's all the games. There was one Friday, but honestly, we don't need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about it at all. We'll save you from that.
I genuinely don't remember who played.
Yeah. Brentford and Leicester, I think.
He did have to remind me.
But yeah, no, that's the pro roundup. We can wrap it up here with a story of the week if Muck has one.
This is from 2006 in Romania. There was a player playing in the 4th division side, UT Arad. His name is Marius Chioria. Now, he made a transfer to a 2nd division side, Regal Hornia, and the fee is what had stood out. He was transferred for 15 kilograms of the finest pork sausage that they had to offer. He then played for about 2 more years until he had to retire of embarrassment, and even fled the country afterwards due to how severe he was getting bashed.
Do we realize how much 15 kilograms?
This guy was literally sold for a sausage roll.
What's the conversion on the
Good
kilograms
question.
to pounds?
I want to say kilograms
Does
like
anybody know?
1.2.
I'll look it up.
Look it up, real. No way that you have
like
that
that's a
in
lot.
writing on the contract, though. Like,
You said
word.
16 kilograms of sausage?
Yeah, it was
15?
Oh,
It was 15.
33 pounds.
Wow.
15.
33 pounds of sausage. Oh, my days.
Probably
My
a hefty
gosh.
fee, to be
Oh.
honest.
How do you even come up with
Like,
that?
what?
Yeah.
Do you
You
think
store that?
Are there
The
no like
club-
condiments or anything attached to it? Like,
dude,
have the pork sausage on its own?
the club must have a butcher that's cooking up some fine meats? I mean,
My
dude,
gosh.
if you're getting rid of players for 30 pounds of sausage,
Yeah.
Romanian sausage.
Yeah.
I
I gotta
mean-
look into that.
we got to look if it was in the rope, if it was just the bulk. Is it hot
Yeah.
sausage? Is it sweet
What are they
sausage?
I'm wondering
feeding
if
this
the
pig?
owner
I mean,
just decided
it's-
he wanted to start a butcher shop, and he had a football club, so he just started selling all his players for pork sausage.
Have you guys ever seen Kicking and Screaming, the soccer movie with Will
course.
Ferrell? Do you remember when they got the Italian kids? Their dad was the Italian butcher, and the kids that were really good at soccer were in there like slicing up the
Yeah.
meats before the games.
Almost in play because they had to work, right?
Yeah. They would show up to the games with like their aprons on and blood all over them because they were cutting up the meats.
Not the sausage, baby.
Oh, well, Mucky, thank you for that. Oh, to any viewers out there, we hope you enjoyed the story as much as we did. But this is another episode of Remotely Related. I'm Kenny. That's Benny. That's Lando. That's Smitty. That's Mucky. And we will all see you very, very soon. Peace.